Today I'm going to be watching this video. It's called the Honest Government Ad for Canada. Quite a few people wrote comments on my videos asking me to watch this one, so that's what I'm doing today. And I've actually watched videos from this channel before. This is called Juice Media. It's an Australian channel, and usually they make these honest government ads for the Australian government, Australian states. Very interesting, very good satire. Tell me if you've ever watched any of their videos before. You can tell me what you think about this one. Let's watch.
Visit Canada, land of beauty and home to countless vanishing wonders. Affordable housing, the green belt, the news, honest prices, honesty in general, and of course, trees that aren't on fucking fire. It's
Whoa, straight in with the hard-hitting lanes there. Tell me what you think about those ones so far, the affordable housing going missing. Tell me more about that one with regards to the news. It's my understanding that certain news sites or things like that were blocked, or there's been legislation passed to block access to that for Canadians. I don't know too much about it. Tell me more about it and how it affected you, or it affects you.
also home to an array of dangerous parasites. A message from the Government of
Who are
Canada. Hello, you probably know us as the peaceful, polite, nature-loving country with the woke babe PM and the friendly horsey police. But actually, as Bay said,
Canada is a major oil and gas producing country.
and if
Oh, that was a little slip of the tongue there. Is he saying that the oil companies own or run Canada? Do the companies have that much power in Canada? No, definitely in America, in the USA. Pharmaceutical companies, oil and gas companies wield a lot of power in government and in life in general. Is it similar in Canada?
if you get between us and the oil and gas, we'll politely kick your fucking door in.
Breaking down the door.
Any questions?
Whoa, so is that the indigenous people? Does that actually happen? I guess in the areas where these companies are mining and looking for oil, maybe they're going onto indigenous land. But seeing the video, I've never seen anything like that. That's quite frightening, quite hard hitting when you see somebody's door getting caved in, them cowering in fear in there. Whoa.
Good. Now please rise for our national anthem.
Just out for a rip on your butt. Just out for a rip.
As you know, we're experiencing the worst fires in our history. But rest assured, we're searching for the arsonists. And when we find them, we'll give them billions in subsidies. We know who they are. Some of us even work for them. What's that? You thought our job was to keep Canadians safe? Aw, sweetie. Our job's to keep them safe from Canadians.
Whoa. Is that true? Is there some sort of talk of companies being behind those forest fires? I thought it was just all wildfires that were natural, but is there some sort of theory that there was arsonists behind that?
Our prime marketer doesn't even try to hide it. Like that time he declared a climate emergency and then approved an oil pipeline the very next day. Cool and normal. A message from the government of British Columbia. Visit BC, home to yep another pipeline. Introducing the Coastal Gas Link. If completed, it'll carry fracked gas from the Montney Play to the coast so that a bunch of foreign companies can export it and make a lot of the ching-ching. Don't worry, BC will earn billions in revenue too, which once you subtract the billions of subsidies we gave those guys to build it, comes to approximately fuck all, eh? Is it safe? Of course not. Here's a destroyed wetland, because going around it would have cost a bit more. Here's a salmon stream nuked by a landslide. And here's our regulator giving zero fucks because it's been captured by the gas industry. Will it cause emissions? Put it this way, this is the tar sands, and this is the Montney Play, Canada's largest carbon bomb. Are we insane? Absolutely. That's why we've already approved 3 more pipelines here once Coastal GasLink is completed.
Whoa, I'm really learning a lot about subjects I never really knew about with regards to Canada. Tell me if you're from Canada, do you know these things? Are these accurate? How do you feel about them? Has there been uproar? People pushing back against it within Canada? I mean, things like this are good. This is why I liked watching the other parts of these honest government ads with regards to Australia, because you really see, I learn a lot, definitely. I never knew about most of these stories, but the way they put it across is very funny, it's very satirical, as I mentioned, but really like touching on some important subjects with regards to different countries.
The only thing standing in the way of this massive fuck you to every living thing on the planet is a sovereign First Nation that has the temerity to still exist, the Wet'suwet'en. They've told Coastal GasLink to piss off, because this is their Yinta, their land, which is completely and utterly, true, according to our own Supreme Court. But don't worry, Bay is committed to reconciliation. Unless it clashes with his holidays, of course. And nothing says reconciliation like raids, constant surveillance, harassment, and threats. Relax, it's not like we're waging a war on the Wet'suwet'en. We've outsourced that role to a message from the US Army. Did you know that before serving as CIA director and getting his ass fired for boning his biographer, this 4-star Army general wrote our field manual for how to wage war on local populations? We used it in Iraq and Afghanistan. So when this Wall Street firm, which owns Coastal GasLink, hired Dave to run their internal CIA, he said, hey, I'm a massive piece of shit. Let's use those same tactics against this peaceful sovereign nation defending its lands.
Is this true? This is absolutely insane. Again, I mean, very funny with the way they put this across, and like what I like about how she presents the other videos as well is obviously she's acting as the government and like saying not everything with this smile that's painted on, and this one having the costume changes related to the video as well. Very, very cutting stuff. But I never knew that this is insane, hiring the American military to actually work on plans to infiltrate land that belongs to indigenous people. These images of them holding back their land and pushing people back, knowing that they use similar tactics in their insurgencies in wars, and that's happening in Canada. Do most Canadians know this? Is this well known?
Tactics like buying off band councils to get their consent. As Dave said, money is ammunition. Delegitimizing those who can't be bought off. Props to BC's court for helping with that. And most importantly, get local forces to do the fighting. To put a friendly face on a foreign campaign. And who better than Canada's friendly horsey police? Except now they look like this. Meet their commander, whose previous job was running similar ops in Afghanistan. Yep, under General Petraeus. And lastly, kicking in their door and dragging people off their land. By the way, no conflict of interest with the Mounties pension fund having millions invested in this pipeline. Coastal GasLink.
What? This is insane. Sorry to stop, to keep stopping this. It's blowing my mind, every little fact here. It's like, I feel bad for just the Canadian people having the government doing all these sort of things. I guess like most governments are the same. The British government are doing so many dodgy things, especially during COVID, and now selling off contracts to people within their parties and all that sort of thing. But when you actually see these things put down in black and white and examples, when they're talking about court cases and you're seeing the paper trail basically, it's very eye-opening for me. I mean, I want to see things like this for every country, especially UK as well. I want to see it happen, get to the bare bones of what's going on. But this one, again, I want to know Canadians' thoughts on this.
That's how you make Canadians subsidize a pipeline through unceded Indigenous territory in the midst of a climate emergency, all for the profit of foreign corporations and a Wall Street warlord. Canada. Enjoy your visit, and remember, you too can support this shit fuckery by continuing to do business with these banks who are funding it. Whatever you do, don't support the Wet'suwet'en at yintaaccess.com and
go check out
Unistoten.com.
yintaaccess.com.
Visit Canada. P.S. We're also arming the Saudis. A message from the government of...
Go check out this. Support Wet'suwet'en at yintaaccess.com, unistoten.com. Poor people. Very hard-hitting you can call it journalism. Very eye-opening information, seeing people, the Indigenous people, and it's not just the Indigenous people, just the normal citizens of Canada having to have this government probably doing most of this behind their back and not really being transparent and clear with people, all these connections and things. So tell me what you think about this. Did you know all of this? Do you think it can be changed? Do you think the people can do anything about it? And yeah, go support this channel and those links as well. Thanks.